I was raised to believe people should treat each other right, but a lot of times they don't. Why won't you take care of your customer?
What part of your job's done didn't you understand?
Well, see, because you don't tell me my job's done.
They'll lie, cheat, and steal from you.
You're legally responsible for this. You cash the check.
They think nobody cares.
Okay, turn the camera off right now.
I care, and that's why I go inside investigations.
The American flag is the embodiment of the spirit and sacrifice of our nation's military. It's no surprise thousands of American families, including one here in Opelika, Alabama, thought that presenting a commemorative, handmade wooden flag to their loved one would be the perfect salute to their service. That is, until their money went AWOL.
That was actually my first mission when I got there.
You'd never know by his humble demeanor that Colonel Rick Pelham is a decorated and dedicated soldier in the U.S. Army.
This is on a C-130.
He served our nation for more than 36 years, including a 6-month deployment to one of the world's most hostile war zones.
To do this is going down the roads
of Afghanistan.
here.
Coming up on Rick's retirement, Christy, his wife, wanted to honor his military career with a symbol, signifying her pride and gratitude for his sacrifice.
I was so excited about this flag. It meant so much to me to have this, because I felt like, it's gonna sound silly, but I felt like it was my way to tell him how much it meant to me and our family, all that he has done for us.
After seeing an advertisement on Facebook, Christy ordered and paid $330 for a custom-created flag from the Rustic Flag Company.
Their whole premises is, it's owned by veterans, and being that our family is military and that he's been in the military 36 years, you want to help a veteran-owned company.
With a promise of delivery in 10 to 12 weeks, Christy planned its arrival to coincide with Rick's homecoming from Afghanistan. But when 3 months came and went without word from the Tennessee flag maker, she started to get concerned.
I tried to email them and call them, and then they turned their phone off, and they wouldn't reply to my emails.
She wasn't the only customer getting radio silence. Greg Daly of Granbury, Texas, also ordered his Old Glory back in 2018.
We haven't heard anything since, still haven't.
Both joined the ranks of more than 8,000 customers, many of whom are veterans themselves who bought into the patriotic fever of supporting a veteran-owned business.
Hi, my name's Justin Scott. I'm the owner of the Rustic Flag Company.
Justin Scott started the Rustic Flag Company out of his basement in his hometown of Trenton, Tennessee. What began as a hobby, handcrafting flags for friends and family, evolved into a burgeoning small business.
From all reports, they were very good flags and people loved them, but we've received over 1,000 complaints of people who have purchased a flag from Rustic Flags and have not received the product.
Tennessee's Justice Department is now suing Scott, saying the company's sudden success spawned a cycle of greed and deception.
We believe that at some point he knew that he could not produce the number of orders that he was receiving, yet he continued to take those orders.
Coming up, my name's Dale Cardwell. I'm with Inside Investigations. I'm here to see if I could speak with Justin Scott. See what happens when we go to Tennessee to confront the infamous flag maker who made millions off the goodwill of veterans and their families. But first,
I was looking at its clothes and I didn't see anything that was professional.
Inside Investigations exposes a nationwide ring of counterfeit carpet cleaners. Find out how they're trying to trick you into using their substandard service. And this could happen to you.
Said he was from Providence's clearinghouse, and he was called in to congratulate me.
It's a dream come true that quickly turns into a nightmare. See how the simplest cons are costing Americans millions when we take you inside Investigations.
feel all right doing this to people? Is it kind of...
You don't let me to speak with you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, you go around and do this to people every day.
Every day across America, networks of rookie carpet cleaners are using technology to trick homeowners into hiring their hacks to clean floors. Fortunately, our investigative team caught one crooked crew in the act, and now we're giving you insider information about their sneaky scheme.
I thought that I was setting up an apartment with Stanley Steamer.
All Ms. Martin wanted was her carpets cleaned by a company she knew she could trust. But when the tech arrived for an estimate, something seemed odd.
And I was looking at its clothes and I didn't see anything that was professional like Stanley Steamer is. I started talking to him about you all move things around, and he says he was a little hesitant with that, and I said, well, Stanley Steamer always does that.
It's a simple con made even easier by internet marketing methods.
Want to see how this works? Well, let's say you've heard of Stanley Steamer and you want to hire them, but you don't know their phone number. So you type in the word Stanley Steamer on the internet, you hit return, and you call the first company that comes up. Well, chances are it's not Stanley Steamer, but someone who is buying Stanley Steamer's keywords. And they're more than happy to lead you to believe that that's who they are. Well, if that's what they're doing, it's time to sting them.
First, our Inside Investigations team called the company posing as Ms. Martin's granddaughter.
Grandma was telling me that she wanted, she usually uses Stanley Steamer. Are you guys affiliated with them at all?
Yes, we are, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Once they falsely confirmed they are a subcontractor of Stanley Steamer, we set a time to meet them at Ms. Martin's home. After driving up in what is clearly not a Stanley Steamer van, and the tech approaches the door in what is clearly not a Stanley Steamer uniform, this is how it all went down.
Hi, I'm Dale Cardwell with Trustdale Investigates. How are you?
Hey.
Are you with Stanley Steamer?
We work with them, yeah.
You work with Stanley Steamer. Who's your contact there?
I can give you my supervisor.
Excellent, thank you.
After we confronted him at the door, we followed him out to his van.
Honestly, do you feel all right doing this to people? Is it kind of...
You don't let me to speak with you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, you go around and do this to people every day.
But we didn't stop there. We kept digging. When our investigative team called the owner back, listen how he rationalizes his unethical behavior.
And sometimes when we come to the house, only then they ask if you're not Stanley Steamer. Okay, so it's basically their mistake. So a lot of times we say we don't Stanley Steamer, they just tell us to go. But when they tell us to go, who's paying for whose fault it is? So who's paying for the gas and the time we took for their mistake?
Stanley Steamer then shared with us what consumers should expect from the real deal.
Well, one, when you look at our uniforms and our appearance and also the truck, that's when you know the real deal is coming.
Do you hear about this happening from time to time, people pretending to be Stanley Steamer?
I have heard of this in the past. This has happened.
And Ms. Martin, though hesitant to show her face, was thrilled to help prevent others from falling for this scheme.
It was wonderful. I am so happy that it won't happen to anybody else.
We want to thank you for doing this and saving so many people from being scammed in the future.
You're welcome. Yes.
Great to meet you.
Great to meet you, too.
And as a big thank you to Ms. Martin, Stanley Steamer cleaned her carpets for free. Just ahead.
I'm angry that my wife got taken advantage of, but it angers me even more that, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines got taken advantage of.
When a custom flag company goes AWOL on thousands of military families, a fellow brother in arms answers the call of duty. See the inspiring story right here on Inside Investigations.
Their whole premises is, it's owned by veterans. And I just feel like that's their whole way to take advantage of you.
Justin Scott says he didn't set out to deceive thousands of patriotic Americans by taking money for a product he couldn't deliver. But critics say when Rustic Flag Company's business boomed beyond expectations, greed overtook Scott's initial good intentions. Seeking answers, we traveled to Trenton, Tennessee, attempting to track down the man behind a scandal that's shaken the faith of this small southern farming town. My name's Dale Cardwell. I'm with Inside Investigations. I'm here to see if I could speak with Justin Scott. I've been trying to reach him about his failure to fulfill flags with Rustic Flag Company. So would you please personally deliver the message to him that I was here to talk with him?
Oh yeah, I'm his mother-in-law.
You're his mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I sure will.
Do you have any idea why things went south for him?
You'd have to talk to him. I really don't know the whole story.
Trenton, Tennessee is about as American as the red, white, and blue itself. So you can imagine the locals don't appreciate what Justin Scott did, or should I say, didn't do. It's the talk of the town here at Cotton's.
He don't act like he's that way, but he is that way, you know.
Wayne Doss has known Scott for years. Like many who live here, he hates how his actions have thrown shade on their community and other veteran-owned businesses. The local TV station says that he paid off 3 cars in full even when he owed thousands of dollars.
Plus a home and a four-wheeler and a bunch of other stuff. I don't like him, that's all I can say.
The Justice Department's indictment echoes those claims, saying Justin Scott misused his company funds to pay off personal debt.
We set forth in the complaint where he's bought several new cars. He's had landscaping done on his house. Consumers see that. He's not delivering the product. He's still taking money, and that's a problem.
I'm angry that my wife got taken advantage of in this situation, but it angers me even more that some of these more deserving, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines got taken advantage of.
Pretty sad story, right? But not the end of our story, thanks to a certain flag-making company here in Granbury, Texas, known as That Flag Company.
We're very limited on how many we can fulfill. We do as many as we can.
Veteran Tim D and his active duty son Jordan are co-owners of their own wooden flag-making company called That Flag Company, which stands for Time Honored and True. At the height of the collapse, many irate customers mistook That Flag Company for Rustic Flag.
We started getting emails, upset emails from customers thinking that we were them.
Jordan, who started That Flag Company much like Scott started his, examined Rustic's marketing tactics and knew something was off.
And I started seeing the high percentage discounts start hitting 40% off, 50% off, 60% off. From a business standpoint, it didn't make sense, and it looked like a sinking ship.
But instead of retreating from the ruin, Jordan and Tim felt it was their duty to help right a wrong.
You feel sorry for all those people that did not receive their flag. You don't want that to be the impression of any business, but especially a veteran-owned business. So we decided, hey, as we can, let's see if we can help out as many people as we can.
So, one order at a time, at no additional cost to the customers, That Flag Company is fulfilling as many missed orders as it can.
I kind of wrote off that money, and so now I actually have a flag. It's a beautiful flag. I saw it, and I'm overjoyed.
And back in Alabama, we got the honor of personally delivering their good deed.
This is a little something.
Oh my God.
We came across.
Oh my God.
Jordan.
That is beautiful. Is awesome.
How do you feel about That Flag Company stepping up and doing this not only for you, but for a lot of other families?
I think That Flag Company, what they're doing is going to restore a lot of people's faith. I think it's going to right a lot of wrongs.
I love it.
Absolutely love it.
I loved it too. If you want to contribute to That Flag Company's cause, go to their website and donate. Plus, check out what motivates them to continue creating flags to honor America's fallen heroes. Coming up, don't let this happen to you.
He asked me to go on there and
allow them to take over my computer, basically.
Fast cash cons are costing Americans millions every year. We'll tell you the warning signs you need to watch out for when Inside Investigations returns. The success of America's greatest businesses are often built on name recognition. That's why con artists are name dropping to gain your trust so they can steal your cash. Watch, because this could happen to you.
It's just a big come on.
That's what I used to think.
Do you know what this side could mean to you? Millions of dollars.
For years, Jesse Lewis watched commercials like this, dreaming of the day he'd get a visit from the Prize Patrol. But instead of a door knock, he got a phone call.
Said he was from Publishers Clearinghouse, and he was calling to congratulate me.
The winnings included millions in cash and a luxury car. But despite the caller's enthusiasm, Jesse was more than a bit skeptical.
He kept saying, he said, well, you don't sound too excited. I said, I'm not, because I haven't gotten anything. I said, send me something in print. And it had Publishers Clearinghouse as the heading on the information.
Convinced of his good fortune, Jesse followed the caller's instructions to open a checking account at his local Regions Bank so they could direct deposit his winnings. But it wasn't long before the prize givers turned into takers.
They started asking me to help them pay some fees so that other people in the line, in the chain, could do what they needed to do to get all the money in place.
He sent nearly $5,000 of his own funds before he figured out the so-called prize was a ploy to steal his money.
I think they should all be tarred and feathered and strung up, because if they're doing this to me, I'm sure I'm not the only person.
And he's right. Judy Motes also got a similar call from someone claiming they owed her $200.
He said that he was with Microsoft Corporation Incorporated, and he had a refund for me. And if I could go to my computer, he would set it up for me.
After giving the caller access to her computer, she watched as he deposited not $200, but $2,000 into her account.
He said he couldn't get the $2,000 out, so I would have to return $1,800 to him using the cards that you go and buy.
While still on the phone with the scammer, Judy drove to CVS to buy 3 $500 gift cards. From there, it was on to the local Walmart to purchase another gift card to cover the remaining $300.
It just all seemed above board until he kept asking for more money. I should have been smart enough to realize that I was getting scammed on it.
Seniors like Judy and Jesse are particularly vulnerable to these type of sweepstakes scams. According to a Better Business Bureau report, more than 80% of all the money lost belonged to victims over the age of 65. For retired folks like Jesse, it's money not easily replaced.
The wife and I had dental procedures needed to be done for her and for me, so that money was there to be used for our purposes.
Bottom line, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. When Inside Investigations returns,
they're not going to listen to you, but when they find out they're going to be on TV, oh my God, you get some money.
Find out how we helped one woman hang up on her wireless plan. Welcome back to Inside Investigations. Getting good customer service is always a challenge, especially when the only way to communicate with the company is over the phone. Watch as we answer one woman's call for help with her cellular company.
I was angry, really angry. I mean, I'll give you what I can. I give to a lot of charities, but I ain't gonna let you take nothing from me. I mean, I'm just stubborn.
As soon as Rosa Boaster discovered she was still paying a monthly bill for a cell phone provider she'd canceled several months ago, she called to complain and get her money back.
And I said, I'm no longer on your service. And I said, I have a new number. And so I said, don't send me any more bills.
But Rosa says the bills kept coming and were being paid automatically through her credit card company, even though she says she told them to stop making the payments.
And then it was kind of like trying to get rid of fleas or something. I couldn't get rid of it. It kept hitting my credit card. So I kept calling, saying, I don't have your service anymore.
The cell phone company Rosa was calling is Straight Talk Wireless that boasts they have the best deals.
Since 2009, Straight Talk Wireless has been helping people experience wireless savings and freedom, providing the best phones on the best networks for less money and with no contract.
According to Rosa, Straight Talk Wireless claims she was still using her previous phone number.
I said, well, don't call me a liar. It's such a little bit. If I was going to steal something, I'd go to get the Hope Diamond. It makes me think that they're running over people, senior citizens that are on Social Security that need that money, And, just the idea.
So Rosa called the team at Inside Investigations for help. We made numerous calls to Straight Talk Wireless, and they finally agreed to reach out to Rosa and make her a settlement offer. But after nearly a year of paying extra bills, Rosa says they told her she would only be refunded for 3 months of charges.
I said, that's unacceptable. I want all of my money.
Rosa didn't back down and reminded them that Inside Investigations is going to air her story.
Not going to be run over because of my age or something. Maybe they thought I'd take 3 months and be happy because, oh golly, I'm going to get some of my money back. Oh no.
That's when Straight Talk agreed to provide a full refund for an entire year. They returned some money on her credit card and the remaining amount on this check.
Because they're not going to listen to you, but when they find out they're going to be on TV, oh my God, you get some money.
Way to go, Rosa. If you have a consumer problem that you can't solve, go to InsideInvestigations.com, fill out a help request form, and send it to us. We could come to your hometown to investigate. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you next time we go Inside Investigations.